an actor by any other accent would not sound as sweet.
Shit, man. I'm a natural-born killer.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 actors who don't do accents.
Help me help you.
For this list, we're looking at movie actors who almost never alter their real voices to take on an accent for a role.
He may have my soul, but he doesn't have my spirit.
No matter who the character is or where he comes from in the world, these actors frequently choose to just go with the voice they were born with, for better or worse.
I can't try a capital murder case for $900, Carly. I need to live.
Number 10, Tom Cruise.
I feel the need for speed.
We start our list with the poster boy for Hollywood action movies. Often playing the good-looking, if slightly arrogant hero of the flick, Cruise has never really needed to put on an accent in any of his movies.
You're worried about me. Why?
Well, unless you count that time he struggled to convincingly portray an Irish immigrant in Far and Away.
Keep walking, lads. Your father's being buried today.
As his career progresses, more interesting stories come along, and Cruise has the chance to tackle more varied characters.
Show me the money!
But fortunately for fans, Cruise just keeps on doing what he does best, being Tom Cruise. Even if that means playing an army officer in Nazi Germany during World War II without a German accent.
We can serve Germany with a Fuhrer, not both.
Number 9, Christopher Walken.
You amuse me, Mr. Bond.
If we've learned anything from watching Christopher Walken's many movies, it's that he's from New York and he's damn proud of it.
I like the trees, you know?
Including his Academy Award-winning supporting role in The Deer Hunter. Walken has appeared in over 100 movies in his career, and with each new role comes a different character, varying from villain to hero, from father figure to gangster.
The ice is gonna break!
However, each of these characters has two distinct things in common: that particular manner of speaking and that famous New York accent. Hey, you know you're committed to your accent when you're playing a German-born villain who's the product of Nazi experimentation, and you still sound like you're from Queens.
More power.
Number 8, Michael Caine.
What I loved once and what I love now are two different things.
In the 60s and 70s, Michael Caine was considered one of Hollywood's cool guys.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Starring in movies like The Italian Job, Alfie, and Get Carter, Caine became synonymous with the lovable rogue and anti-hero character.
You're a big man, but you're in bad shape. With me, it's a full-time job. Now behave yourself.
With a career that spanned over 50 years, Michael Caine is only one of 2 actors that's been nominated for an Academy Award in every decade from the 1960s to the 2000s.
I just couldn't figure the legal ramifications of bringing you back from the dead.
That's impressive in itself, but what's even more impressive is that he's achieved all of this while sticking to his English Cockney accent, which has become one of the most famous and mimicked accents in all of Hollywood.
If those are to be the first of many injuries to come, it would be wise to find a suitable excuse. Polo, for instance.
Number 7, Nicolas Cage. Some actors just let their distinct acting style do the talking. Case in point, Nick Cage.
Don't it just break your heart?
Since Cage first burst onto the movie scene in the 1980s, he's thrown himself into every role, committing fully to each interaction, movement, and line.
Maybe I shouldn't breathe so much, Terry.
Often called over the top, although Roger Ebert more kindly labeled his work operatic, Cage himself has actually named his acting style. He calls it nouveau shamanic.
My daddy once said if you don't make a choice, the choice makes you.
However, no matter what kind of character Cage plays, his accent and style rarely, if ever, change. And that's a good thing, if you take into consideration the few times he has attempted an accent.
The blood we spill here is on our blades, our souls, not God's.
Number 6, Woody Harrelson.
Yo, I think my joke loosened him up a little.
First coming to the public's attention as lovable bartender Woody Boyd in the sitcom Cheers, Woody Harrelson eventually took that sweet and innocent style into the world of movie comedies in films like Wildcats.
Did I ever tell you what a good slapback I am?
However, after leaving Cheers, Harrelson took on more diverse roles. He's played everything from a mass murderer in Natural Born Killers, to the real-life hustler founder in the biopic The People vs. Larry Flint, to an alcoholic mentor in The Hunger Games.
This is the time to show them everything. There'll be a bow. Make sure you use it.
But what it boils down to is that whether he's playing the bad guy or the hero, Harrelson does it, more often than not, with a sincere style and the natural Texas accent that fans have come to expect and love.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Number 5. Kevin Costner.
Whatever blood is in your veins, no man deserves to die in there.
During the late 80s and early 90s, Kevin Costner was one of Hollywood's most bankable stars.
I'm giving you a direct order to arrest this man!
Thanks to movies like No Way Out, Field of Dreams, The Bodyguard, and Academy Award-winning films like JFK and Dances with Wolves.
Dances with wolves. How do you say it?
Costner proved he was unstoppable. The actor also channeled his charisma as a natural leading man into the role of the heroic and legendary Robin Hood.
Seems I've made it past the gate, John Little. Or should I call you Little John?
And though the mythical character is traditionally portrayed with an English accent, Costner's native Californian dialect was what we got for the majority of the film. Well, that and a lot of kick-ass action. To be fair though, Costner's career hasn't been hampered by his lack of accents, so maybe it's best to just stick with what you know.
God, didn't you hear what I said? What are you, deaf?
Number 4. Matthew McConaughey.
What the hell are you doing, huh? This is not a goddamn democracy!
Many actors live in fear of typecasting, that they may be stuck in a certain genre or playing a certain sort of character for the rest of their career. At one point, it seemed like Matthew McConaughey was being pigeonholed as either a stoner beach lover who didn't own a shirt or a rom-com lead who didn't own a shirt.
Why did Steve go to the movies with you? Well, let's see. First of all, Steve likes the movies.
In either type of role, McConaughey's trademark Texas accent and unique speaking cadence are an advantage, as he easily plays both surfer dudes and the charming, easygoing guy women fall for.
What I said to you before the judgment is almost how it works here.
However, when more challenging roles come up, McConaughey rises to the occasion, sticking with his trademark drawl whether he's playing a lawyer, a U.S. Navy lieutenant, or an AIDS sufferer.
Sometimes I just feel like I'm fighting for life. I just ain't got time to live.
Number 3. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'll be back.
With perhaps the only notable exception being his attempt in Red Heat, Arnold Schwarzenegger has never altered his Austrian accent for a role, something he's made no excuses for.
Soviet Poturin 9.2 millimeter. His world's most powerful handgun.
When he immigrated to the US at the age of 21, Arnie had very few English words in his vocabulary arsenal. That's obviously changed, but the accent undeniably has not, a result of him learning English as an adult.
Here is Sub-Zero! Now, Plane Zero!
Whether he's starring in an action film, a thriller, or a comedy, the former Mr. Universe shows that he's taken what could have been a limitation and turned it into an unmistakable trademark. And in the process, Schwarzenegger became one of the most impersonated actors on the planet.
I did nothing. The pavement was his enemy.
Number 2. Tommy Lee Jones.
Checkpoints go up in 15 miles. Your fugitive's name is Dr. Richard Kimball.
Tommy Lee Jones can instantly add credibility to any movie he's in, whether he's playing a stone-faced but compassionate marshal in The Fugitive, taking on the comedy genre with Men in Black, or diving into the comic book world with a role in Captain America: The First Avenger.
Go get him.
I'm not kissing you.
With each performance and with each new genre, Jones has also demonstrated that he and his rough Texas twang can add gravitas to any movie. And he does all of this by almost never changing a note in his accent.
All right, we'll use pulsar level 5 with a subsonic implosion factor.
What?
Just shoot the damn thing on the count screen.
In short, Tommy Lee Jones pretty much uses his own voice at all times. But that's what audiences love about him.
I don't want you guys using words around me that got no meaning. I'm taking the stairs and walking.
No honorable mentions this time around.
Put a sock in it. I don't care who does what to your Hershey Highway.
Number 1. Sean Connery.
When the world trembled at the sound of our rockets, well, they will tremble again at the sound of our silence.
Some actors have such a powerful screen presence that they often don't need to do anything other than be themselves, or at the very least, sound like themselves. Sean Connery is one of those actors.
Make sure when your shift is over, you go home alive.
Since he first appeared as James Bond in Dr. No, Connery has essentially kept his strong Scottish accent for every role thereafter.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
Whether that's playing a Soviet submarine captain in The Hunt for Red October, an Irish-American cop living in Chicago in The Untouchables, or an Egyptian immortal in The Highlander, Connery is Scottish and proud.
Why does the sun come up? Or are the stars just pinholes in the curtain of night?
However, the fact that Connery has never dropped his accent for a role has only made him more iconic, and that's why he's #1 on our list.
It's funny, I thought you'd turn up sooner or later.
Do you agree with our list?
What is this, a game?
What other actors can you think of that don't do accents?
All right, that's confiscated, all of it. And I want you on the next transport off this rocker. I'm going to shoot you where it don't grow back.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I am the hero, so shut up!